Midday. We are down at St. Andrew's on the Square on a beautiful day today, early June, and absolutely gorgeous out. Joining me today, we have Mairi Budreau. She is a portrait painter. It's great to have you here.
Oh, thanks, Susan.
Yes, very exciting because Mairi's approached me and asked if I would like to have a portrait of myself painted. And while initially it seemed a bit scary almost to me to have my own picture painted, I thought this would make for a really fantastic series of midday segments. And so I've agreed to have my painting done. And Mairi, I'm really excited about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first thing we have to figure out is what you're going to wear and where we're going to be. And as you know, we have talked a little bit about this already, and we've picked St. Andrew's on the Square, and it's gorgeous. It's not quite ready for us yet because we need more flowers and more greenery. But have you given any thought about what you're going to wear?
I have given a bit of thought, and it's funny because Mairi and I have talked about the fact that really where you are and what you're wearing go hand in hand. You're not going to show up in a business suit and pose in front of some flowers, right? Or at least I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I feel very much that St. Andrew's on the Square, for me, is a great location because I have connection to this church. I've been to many weddings here. As well, my grandfather back in the day contributed both his time and financially towards fixing the church up. And I don't mean the most recent time, which is about 15 years ago. The fix-up before that, back in his day. So I do feel a huge connection to this church, and I've always thought that this area is beautiful, so it feels natural for me to be here for sure.
And that's really important to what you're adding into the portrait. Like,
Yeah.
it's the location and that it has meaning and significance for you. That's really important because when you look at the piece down the road, there it is, right? It's going to make a statement about you, your past. This one actually ties in heritage with your family and your father's work here. So it's a great choice, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. One thing that resonates with me that we talked about earlier, Mairi, is the fact that you want to think about who will have this painting, 20 or 30 or 40 years from now.
That's right.
And so you want it to represent a little bit about who you are. So again, I think the location is excellent based on that.
Yeah.
So as for clothing, you were mentioning that I should probably be looking at something a little more casual. And we're talking about a lot of white, but I'm still open to ideas. I haven't really decided that yet.
Okay, well, if you were wearing a dress like you are, and you had mentioned about wanting flowers, they might be competing.
I can see that.
Right? So if you were wearing something plain, or something white, or beige, or black, or gray, something that doesn't have a pattern, but then we have all this floral stuff around, then you would stand out, but you wouldn't be competing with the colors of the background. But then again, if you wore green, and we got lots of greenery around, then you would be fitting in really well too. So what you choose for the portrait is really important too. You don't want something that's too trendy, because 20 years from now, it's gonna, I wish I wasn't wearing that,
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we should also mention the style within which you paint. We have a photo session that we're going to do.
That's right.
And then Mairi paints from the photo.
Yes.
Is that quite common?
It is today. I mean, in the old days, no.
Right.
The portraiture was the only way to capture someone's likeness. But yeah, a lot of artists do work from photos. I like to work from multiple photos. I get a sense of a person, as well as I might want to introduce other background elements into the piece. So for instance, if the flowers aren't really working for us here, but the location is, then I may go elsewhere and get some floral pictures outdoors, same time of day, so that I get the same kind of lighting and look and introduce those. I have a question for you, actually. Do you want the flowers to be very realistic, or do you want an impression?
Interesting.
Do you just want an impression of the flowers around you, or just the color of flowers around you?
Interesting. That is a good question, because that's two very different types of portraits, aren't they? One's more abstract. I mean, I'll be in the picture, but I would have to think about that.
Okay.
What are your tips on one way or the other when it comes to that?
Well, because it's your portrait, it's your call. Sorry.
Who would ever thought that this many considerations have to be given into a portrait, but you definitely want to do something that really feels like you.
Right.
A representative of who you are.
Yeah.
But I feel very humbled that you've asked me. I'm really looking forward to this.
Good. I'm really honored to do it.
Thank you. Is there anything else I should be thinking about besides the flower thing and the outfit? What about hair?
Yes, what about hair?
And makeup.
Again, what's the feeling that you would like to convey? Is it a femininity? Is it being a mother? Is it being a business person? Is it... Like some people want to be a character out of history.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of options there, but you got to think about you're going to live with this painting for a long time.
That's right.
So what are you comfortable looking at, and what do you think your kids will really enjoy and appreciate when they inherit this down the road?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a lot of things to think about yet, so I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
All right.
It's going to be great.
Mairi, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Susan.
Your past, your place, just to see your face. What let you down?